What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, it seems that this FTC case versus Microsoft case is unearthing some yummy details that we probably would not have gotten otherwise. The one I want to talk about today is about exclusivity and the notion of a game that it will be first party, but not a first party IP from a Microsoft studio being exclusive to Xbox, console exclusive. What game am I talking about? I'm talking about Indiana Jones. I'm talking about Indiana Jones. Bam. Lucasfilm's second most popular franchise. Is that true? I mean, Star Wars and yet. What else is there? Willow? Nah. What else is there? Howard the Duck? No. Anyway, I want to see what the ponies are going to say. I haven't looked. I don't know what's going on. I haven't looked to see what the ponies are going to say. But I will say this. Microsoft is very strategic, very smart in almost everything that they're doing right now. They did raise the price by like $1, $2 for Game Pass, and then the consoles everywhere, right? They kind of did the Sony basically, except for the US, so it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect me. No. You know, look, Sony set the precedent. So if you want to blame someone for the price increase on Xbox side, blame Sony, because they did it early so they can make that early money, because that's what Sony's about. They're about that early quick money. Microsoft is about that long money. Jim Ryan said it in his emails. He said they got the money. They have the money to make these moves. They're not looking at exclusivity. They're looking at a bigger picture. And all the things that he said in that email diminishes the power of PlayStation, because it means that PlayStation doesn't have the money to make those kind of moves. Oh, Jim Ryan's worse than Don Matrick. At this point, Jim Ryan's worse than Don Matrick. Let's go. Holla at me in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. You know I'm right. Worse than Don Matrick. Y'all should hire Don Matrick to save Sony. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, what we're talking about is Indiana Jones exclusivity. So, what the deal was is that before Microsoft bought Bethesda, they had a deal with Lucasfilm to make Indiana Jones, right? And it was supposed to be multi-plat, right? It's supposed to be on PlayStation, supposed to be on Xbox, supposed to be on whatever else, PC, probably. That's probably about it. Then Microsoft, they bought Bethesda, bought ZeniMax. Then Microsoft said, about that Indiana Jones joint right there. Let's talk about that. And so they renegotiated, which is what big old companies do, words. And they said, yeah, we don't want our American property and IP and hero. I mean, he's an American hero. Let's go. It's Superman, Batman, Indiana Jones. Let's go. We don't want him on a foreign box. It's America over here, America. Okay, I'm joking, of course, because all this stuff is made in China anyway. It doesn't matter. But they negotiated to not make it on PlayStation because it would be a worse game if it was. The example was, if Starfield would have remained multi-plat, it would not be coming out in September because they would need like another year or something, they said. I was like, well, yeah, it makes sense because you need extra time for dev time. Yeah. But Sony ponies and Dunkin' Unicorns can't say nothing. They need to shut their yappies, put the bucket on, eat some grains or something, eat some oats. Just, you can't say nothing. This is why. Spider-Man. That's why. Spider-Man. That's it. I don't even need to explain it, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. Some of y'all are a little slow. Spider-Man is an IP owned by not Sony. It's owned by Marvel Entertainment, whatever the LLC is actually called. Marvel owns the IP. The character of Spider-Man is owned by Marvel, which is owned by Disney. Okay? Some of y'all duck unicorns and ponies out there believe that Sony owns Spider-Man. You're wrong. Sony has a license to make Spider-Man movies. They bought a license. They have a contract with Marvel, who owns the license of Spider-Man, the IP. They have a contract with Marvel that stipulates they can make, if they make a Spider-Man movie every 7 years or so, or at least 7 years, they can, I guess it's in perpetuity, hold on to that license. That's what Sony's been doing for the past 30 years or so. So, you know, it's cool. That's what Sony wants to do. I mean, I just saw Kraven the Hunter, a trailer with your boy Aaron, whatever his name is. He was Quicksilver. I was looking at that. I was like, okay, is that Kraven though? With the lion blood makes him. I'm like, okay. Honestly, I don't even know the origin story of Kraven, so maybe that's how it worked. But that's not really. It's so weird. It's so weird. Sony is really bad at making movies, particularly live action, particularly Marvel Spider-Man movies. They are really bad at it. If Marvel Studios isn't actually making the film, it's gonna be not great. Look at the ones that Marvel did. Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man, the first one, Homecoming. That was all Marvel. Marvel made those. Sony paid for them. So that's the difference. People are like, no, that's not a Sony movie. No. Sony paid Marvel to make the movie. The creatives were Marvel. Anyway, and then you look at Kraven and Morpheus and all the, or what is his name? Yeah, Morpheus. No. Yeah, that's his name. Michael Morpheus? Whatever. The living vampire. Garbage. Venom, less garbage, still garbage. Anyway, you get the picture. So the IPs that Sony hold, they can't do anything with them. They suck. That's the movies. Moving on to video games. They have Spider-Man. It's exclusive to PlayStation. Why? Because Sony wants to sell consoles. Not because, oh, it'll make the game better. They never said that. They just want to sell consoles. They want exclusive games so they can sell consoles. That's their business model. It doesn't need to be said. That's what they do. Microsoft is like, yeah, we want the game to be better. You know, I mean, it'll sell some Game Passes and some Xboxes probably, maybe. But what did they say? We want the game to be the best that it could be, so bye-bye PlayStation, get it on PC. It makes total sense, right? And if you look at how Sony is kind of bumbling through this generation, the only thing that's keeping them alive are these games, but it is so easy for a game to be not as good as another game that maybe launches close to it. And so now you look at the reputation of Sony, reputation of their games. I think their reputation is waning a little bit. I think it is diminished, if you will. Because what was their last game that came out? It wasn't God of War. Was it God of War? It wasn't God of War. What was it? I don't remember. Well, anyway, the next game is gonna be Spider-Man 2, right? And I've heard many people say, it looks like Spider-Man. Diminishing returns. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect people to be wowed like the first time. That's not how it works. And that's what's happening with Spider-Man. And that's what will happen with most of their IPs if they continue on this road. And they can't afford to spend 7 years and all this money on a property, one of their IPs, because it takes too long. They don't have enough studios to make these games. And they have no fresh ideas. It's all diminishing returns because all they've been doing is making the same game for years. And it's catching up to them. And now they're trying to switch lanes. Like, oh, let's do games of service. And nobody's feeling it. Because you've trained your audience to like a specific type of game that you make. Yes, hey, you dug yourself into this hole. I'm gonna see how you get out. Anyway, back to Indiana Jones exclusivity. Sorry for the tangents. Hey, it's all fair. Like I said, Spider-Man is exclusive, so is Indiana Jones, just on 2 different systems. There's nothing. The FTC can't even bring that up in their court, whatever. They'd be like, oh, this just happened now, and now it's exclusive, and blah blah blah. And they're like, well, yeah, we negotiated it because Spider-Man's exclusive, and we want Spider-Man on Xbox, but we can't because they made it exclusive. They can't do. Man, I couldn't do a Sarah Bond video today because I didn't finish listening to her testimony. And I didn't hear today's. I don't know if it was on anywhere, but I need to do a dedicated Sarah Bond, a real with research and everything, because she is the future of Xbox. I'm calling it now. She's the future of Xbox. She needs to take over when Phil steps down or gets super promoted, and she steps up a little bit to be head of Xbox or head of Microsoft game, or maybe so Matt Booty is head of Xbox Game Studios, the games, and Sarah Bond is Game Pass, I believe, and so Phil is Microsoft Games. So, I mean, I guess Matt Booty is above Sarah Bond technically. I don't know if Phil would ever I mean, he'll retire eventually, but he's still relatively young and he loves games, so I don't see why he would necessarily retire unless they create a new position for him where it's like, I don't know, he's CEO of all games at Microsoft, so how can he be, where's the higher level of promotion for him within gaming within Microsoft? I think he's there already. So unless they make another position for Sarah Bond in that it is head of, it's kind of in between Matt Booty and Phil Spencer. But anyway, regardless, when Phil is gone, Sarah Bond needs to stay. That's all I'm saying. Do not let Sarah Bond go. She is gold. She is the queen. Queen Sarah. Keep her in there because she said the stuff. I was like, hey yo, I need somebody like that in my corner right there, cause I can't do it because I don't have all the information. I didn't listen to it all, so I'm gonna stop right here because it's thunder and lightning, and that means she's like, don't you talk about me? No, I'm just kidding. But no, she's great. She's man. And the thing is, like, you see her in the presentations, and it feels a little like stilted, and she's not really a presenter per se. She's a business lady. She's a super intelligent. She's who you want to be talking in the court because she said all the right answers. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Indiana Jones exclusivity, Xbox. I hope the game's good. I mean, that's kind of important. And think about it but compared to Spider-Man's exclusivity, is it different? Don't tell me, Insomniac made it when they were third party, and then Sony bought them afterwards, and then now Sony owns them, so that's why. I'm like, what? That makes even less sense because if they were third party, they weren't owned. That Sony just hired them to make a Spider-Man game, a third-party studio, to make a third-party IP. Sony just made it exclusive. That makes less sense. But, I mean, technically it's first party because that's what Sarah Bond says and everything she says is true. So they paid for it, so it's first party, even though a third-party studio makes it. So I'll agree with that. So it is first party, made by a third party, blah, blah, blah. But still doesn't make any sense because, it's not their IP, so, but they're footing the bills. They're footing the bills so they can do whatever they want, right? Fine. So if that's the case, then Indiana Jones is first party. They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want with that IP because they own it. And they said that in the court documents yesterday, that if they own whatever, I think they were talking about Call of Duty specifically, they can do whatever they want with it because they own it. Period. That's it and that's all. So, and Sony realizes this. That's why they're pitching a fit so much. But anyway, let me know in the comments. Is this cool? Is it fair? And I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Preach. Till to wait.